This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Madang cocoa farmers secures market. And city police warned against unauthorized protest. And CIMC expressed concern over women's safety.
A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Louis Mangu. Thank you for joining us. A small cocoa producer group called Club 3000 Farmers Cooperative Society in Madang Province has made history in PNG in securing a market in Europe, where they are sending their cocoa directly to a factory in Germany.
Club 3000 Farmers Cooperative Society Chairman Tomoli Wowomi and export manager Norman Nayak were full of joy to watch a vehicle load a container with cocoa bags to be loaded onto a vessel destined for Germany earlier this week.
This container is a container of cocoa from Madang Province, and we come also along Bogia District, Sumkar District, Madang District, our Middle Ramu, Usinobuntu District, and Raipos District, 6 districts where produce the cocoa come inside. And so this is the first trial export come along all farmers from Madang Province.
It's a first of its kind that our local farmers have made it to have their first container of cocoa drivings on board the ship to be exported to European market in Germany.
Club 3000 Farmers Cooperative Society is made up of the best cocoa farmers in Madang Province who farm under the Fair Trade certification. This farmer group was originally formed by Moni Cocoa Exports in 2011 as part of its incentive. The group has 625 cocoa growers attached to 47 cocoa fermentaries across 6 districts of Madang Province. A certified cocoa farmer under Fair Trade arrangement said Array, on behalf of the other group members of the Club 3000, was very happy that their cocoa is now heading to the European market.
Me member of the Club 3000, I'm one of the farmer, and supply of driving cocoa. Club 3000 is la organized Club 3000 group lo mipla. Nami one of the farmer, nami amas terus now one of the container blomi am lusi meding nago. Mipla yang cocoa blomi mipla straight or farmer straight. Osan mipla amas nami one bel lo disla wo mipla making.
Meanwhile, members of the Club 3000 Farmers Cooperative Society, earlier this week through their relationship with Fair Trade, were trained using the latest GPS, or Global Positioning System gadgets, which were supplied by Fair Trade New Zealand. The GPS training is purposely to map farms, verify farm boundaries, and trace cocoa beans through the supply chain. This will help to prevent deforestation, improve transparency, and increase traceability. The GPS training was conducted at Saint Village in Ambenob local level government area in Madang District.
Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited has fully funded 2 projects: the fabrication facility and training center outside Port Moresby near the LNG site, which will also become a special economic zone that will benefit the country. This was revealed by Managing Director Wapu Song.
Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited has started off with 2 major projects: the fabrication facility and training center, which will see the completion of phase 1 in September this year. While visiting the site, the managing director said it will cost about 800 million kina to complete the 2 projects. Mr. Song said the portion 2786 is a 200 hectares of land, of which 40 hectares will be used to build a fabrication facility, while 20 hectares for the training center, and the remaining will be given to investors to come in when the project site is completed. The managing director elaborates more on the two projects.
This is going to be like a factory to make what goes into a oil and gas facility, like the LNG plant. So we'll make the pipes, we'll bend the pipes, we'll cut the pipes, thread them, whatever. All the vessels there, we can make the vessels and bits and pieces that go in. So we will basically put all those things here.
This comes with specialized skills training.
But to do that, you need highly skilled people. And all our technical schools in the country don't offer that. So what we did is we started to do the skill training to supply into the labor market here by using the Idubara Tech. Along the side, we have a small academy there. So in that area, we train technicians for Santos, before it was all set, ExxonMobil, everybody in the industry. So we started the process there. And now we are building a bigger one here. So mining, general construction, marine industry, everybody in construction industry can basically benefit from all the skills that we train here.
Mr. Song said this is an investment in fabrication facility.
Filipinos, Indonesians, Vietnamese, and everybody coming in to take up the 10,000 or so jobs that were available during construction here. And all the materials, everything was prefabricated in China, in Korea, in other places, and brought here and basically put together by the EPC contractor. So although we had a good number of participation, we did not really participate meaningfully in the labor skilled labor market.
The managing director was accompanied by Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru. Minister Maru said the Central Industrial Development Site in Cochin Bay in the Central Province will be a special economic zone. Minister Maru said the paperwork are underway and will be submitted to the National Executive Council in the coming week for approval.
Looking forward to the AZ being granted and a grand opening of this project in the coming weeks, so we can sell the story to the rest of the country.
Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, Managing Director Wapu Song said this fabrication facility will create thousands of jobs for Papua New Guineans.
Managing Director Wapu Song said they are looking at creating over 1,000 direct jobs.
Looking at something like 1,000 jobs, direct jobs in the fabrication yard. So we'll have to train for that first. And then everybody else that is constructing will train their people. So that 1,000 will go up. And that 1,000 number is just based on working from 8 to 5 in the afternoon. And as you know, construction happens 24/7. So this number is going to double, but we are basing on just doing a base work. We're looking at 3,000 to 4,000, which includes support system, people that will provide food, people that will bring in water, food supplies, transport, different jobs that will come out of the facility here. So all that put together, induced or direct and indirect jobs included, is about 4,000 jobs in the facility itself.
Including all construction, he said facility is likely to create over 10,000 jobs.
The setting up here and all the construction happening here will benefit from this. So that's already started. There's other people that want to now position themselves in the front. So all those will more than likely create 10,000 plus jobs in this facility here. So the government has now seen the plan, overall master plan, and saying, okay, we'll wrap this around with a special economic zone. So let's have a look at what your plan is, what the economic benefits are for the country, and what job numbers are we talking about, and how much it's going to cost in the different phases that you are building, and all of that. So we now have a NEC submission that is ready, thanks to Minister, we have signed. is on its way to NEC to approve that special economic zone. So that will then multiply and add on to those numbers that I was talking about. So hopefully when the special economic zone comes, we can invite investors into this area, investors in solar, investors in energy, investors in oil and gas business, mining business. There's a lot of support that goes into something like the LNG plant here, but we don't really see those businesses. So
Minister Maru added that this will surely create more jobs for the people of PNG.
Our biggest need is to grow our revenue and create jobs for our young people. And this project will meet both. And what's even more exciting is the people that we train here will be trained to the standard where they can work anywhere in the world. So we are also building a pool of skilled Papua New Guineans who can work in big projects all over the world.
Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
The author of book titled A Matter of Conscience, Operation Rausim Quick, former Major General Jerry Singrock, gave an update of his book stating that a couple of agents are working on the possibility of striking a deal with one of the movie companies.
The former PNG Army commander who went and pitched his book titled A Matter of Conscience, Operation Rausim Quick for the Hollywood screens in Los Angeles in 2023 said his book had been selected out of 42 books.
I was in Hollywood in, I think it was in February of 2023. My book was selected out of 42 books from Miami Book Fair to go to Hollywood. It was highly recommended for a movie. We had a grading of 7 out of 10.
He said a couple of agents working on the possibility of striking a deal with one of the movie companies, and those are confidential as he will not disclose.
At the moment, we have a couple of agents working on a possibility of striking a deal with one of the movie companies. And those are very highly confidential, and I will not disclose until we're able to get a financier and a person who can write the script, and we strike a deal. So yeah, it's all in progress, work in progress.
Retired Major General was the first Papua New Guinean author to have his book pitched for the Hollywood screens. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Attention all students, parents and schools. The Smart Start School promotion is back for 2025. Your school could win a school grant worth 44,000 kina. Here's how. Collect 3 empty packets of Smart Start breakfast biscuits, write your name, number and school on an envelope, put the empty packets inside and drop them into an entry box at a registered school. The school with the highest number of valid entries in each region wins. 1,000 consolation prizes are also up for grabs. Register your school now with Paradise Foods Limited. Smart Start breakfast biscuit, proudly made by Paradise Foods.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
There is more to what the future holds. You may hold him and walk on time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Ransomware attack is a type of cyber attack that deals with cyber criminals offering a company or a government agency or a government department's files. Cyberbullying is a that issue is not only faced in developing countries, that's also faced in the developed world as well. So the question about technically can we go after those people who are behind fake identities?
That's on Monday night.
You're watching National EMTV News. Special Olympics PNG successfully concluded its 2025 call-out volunteering program today in Port Moresby.
The Special Olympics PNG call-out volunteering program is set out to increase inclusivity of children and youths living with intellectual disabilities.
Call for Volunteers started last year. It was a program for youths to join our movement to make awareness for youths and children who live with disabilities, and also to get the society involved because they are a minority that's often neglected. So we started off with just 10 youths and 10 athletes, youths without ID.
With the increase in participants this year, SOPNG aims to get more youths involved in the program.
For this year, 2025, we have an increase in participants with 18 youths with ID and 27 youths without ID. So it was a 4-day training, and we have successfully completed with them learning more about our program, basic connectivity, and also sign language.
These volunteers are from different institutions in the nation's capital.
You know, the journey for inclusion is very, very powerful if you get the younger generation involved, especially the schools, and to get our volunteers from our tertiary institutions is very, very helpful. For us, since we began, we saw that, you know, in the past we used to rely mostly on the parents as volunteers, but when we started this particular project, we found that people like, we found Ethiopia, we found Antoinette, and the rest of the team who are here, who are volunteers now. And hopefully some of you will join us and the journey continues. Some of us will eventually leave, but you know, the journey continues. It's a movement.
Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
Police in the National Capital District and Central Province have warned against an unauthorized protest planned for Monday, March 3rd at Unagi Oval in Gordons.
A group of concerned citizens and youths had announced a demonstration to demand the resignation of Prime Minister James Marape, citing economic hardship, corruption, and unfulfilled promises. Organizers urged protesters to remain peaceful and follow legal procedures. However, NCD and Central Commander, Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Benjamin Turi, stated that the police had not received any formal notice making the protest illegal. Officers have been directed to monitor and arrest participants under charges of unlawful assembly.
Extortion by police officers.
Turi dismissed a document circulating online about the protest as fake, noting that no one had come forward to claim responsibility for it. He also urged the public to use proper channels to voice concerns and avoid disruptions similar to the last year's Black Wednesday unrest. Authorities have invited the institution, whose stamp appears on the document, to file a formal complaint for further investigation. James Gukan, National EMTV News.
Over 5 young women across PNG, including National Capital District, reported a sexual harassment, attacked and killed by partners and criminal gangs, which is now seen as a trend to see women population is no longer safe living within their homes. This was revealed by CIMC's Family Sexual Violence Action Committee Chair, Ruth Kisam Tindiwi.
CIMC's Family Sexual Violence Action Committee Chair, Ruth Kisam, speaking this week of the recently increased violence of women, said women should be stepping forward to celebrate 50 years is because of the achievements, including women in politics, women in male-dominated workplace, becoming directors and sitting in boardrooms, more girls in schools. But violence on women has grown that these achievements are on pause because we need to fix law and order. She said displaced women and children in tribal fights, climate change crisis, domestic violence continues to increase annually. Consultative Implementation and Monitoring Council Executive Officer Wallace Yakam said streets are no longer safe for women to walk freely and more efforts needed from the government for peaceful community after 50 years of celebration in PNG. She said lack of accountability. Citizens rely heavily on law enforcers to attend to crimes within communities, but how about individuals standing up and protecting women and girls where they witness domestic violence? Mrs. Kisam said it is not a call for men, but a call for criminal over crimes, committed that justice must prevail for their actions. She said criminals continue to walk freely in the communities of our weak implementations of laws, which has also sent out message to men that it is okay to commit a crime because no police will go after them. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
A shadow report on elimination of discrimination against women in Papua New Guinea will be submitted to the government next week by civil groups in Port Moresby.
A group of civil society organizations have conducted a validation workshop recently. The Convention on the Elimination on All Forms of Discrimination Against Women is an international treaty that promoting and protecting women's rights globally, addressing areas such as discriminations, gender violence, access to education, and health care. Consultation, Implementation, and Monitoring Council Executive Officer Wallace Yakam said there is a lot needs to be done with government efforts. She said the government has successfully amended and passed Criminal Code Act 2013, Family Protection Act Lukautim Pikinini, Act Glassman Act 2022, which are achievements outlined in the report. It is now the recommendations to be done on implementation of these legislations that PNG continue to face a lot of challenges, still struggling on women and girls where a shadow report is done and submitted. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Papua New Guinea's Bomana Center of Excellence Police Training College is open to train police officers from neighboring countries, according to Assistant Commissioner of Police Training, Pero Ndrono.
ACP Ndrano highlighted that PNG has some of the most advanced police training facilities in the region, making it an ideal hub for law enforcement training.
There's a security arrangement between PNG and Solomon Island. So based on the security arrangement, they can come anytime they wish to come for training. We cannot, well, we were employed, so wrong word, we were deployed there. So if we can be deployed in Solomon, it wouldn't be wrong for them to deploy here given the same agreement. So that's how I look at it. But then again, like it's on something I'm privy to only, not many of us, is that the intention of two governments is we have better facilities now in the Pacific to use for Pacific to join.
However, he clarified that while the center provides training, employment opportunities for foreign officers would depend on government agreements.
So that's up to the management to make a decision. My job is to provide a conducive environment for training. That's what it is. If they say yes, and then eventually if they say yes, and then especially for Solomon Island Police, there's a security arrangement, that police-to-police arrangement. They can be deployed anywhere in the country, so long as both agree, because it's part of that agreement. Or like our police officers now, how many phases of deployment to Solomon Island? During my time, I went there, during the incident in late 2021, and then we had the election, they sent our members, then during the Pacific Games.
The initiative aims to strengthen regional policing cooperation and enhance law enforcement capabilities across the Pacific. James Guken, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Share the love with Gala Ice Cream, Gala Cone Ice Creams, Gala Stick Ice Creams, and Gala Classic Tub Ice Creams. Happiness begins with the Gala range of fun flavors which create taste adventures and excitement with every bite. Treat yourself. Share with a friend while chilling. The whole family will enjoy. Everyone has their favorite. Which one is yours? Share the love with Gala Ice Creams. Gala Gala Yum.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Morning Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Our chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Morning Plus, we're ready to go.
Mipla Halivim Wari Belong You.
When circumstances aren't quite what they seem.
I'm the boss now.
2 sisters.
Got a sister? Our sister dancing man.
Both determined to do what they think is right.
Say you only want to sell at the bit of the place. Which bit do you want to sacrifice? Couldn't sell the place out for Monday.
Find that sometimes you have to feel a little lost before you can find your way home.
Seriously, what can I do? Getting dressed might be a start.
Met Lord's Daughter, 8 p.m. Tuesday. By Tia and number 1 to watch, MTV.
MTV News A Closer Look returns for 2025, the current affairs program that brings to you weekly insights for the latest on education, health, business, politics,
I just want to make that clear.
sports, and more. A closer look every Sunday at 7 p.m. on your number 1 to watch, MTV.
You are watching National EMTV News. Moving to overseas news now. Ukraine president left the White House earlier this morning after a tense exchange with U.S. President Donald Trump.
The stakes were so high for Volodymyr Zelensky heading into this meeting with Donald Trump at a time when the US president is pushing to bring the war in Ukraine to an end. The Ukrainian leader had travelled to Washington to discuss and sign a critical minerals deal with the United States. Ukraine had been hoping as part of that process to get some kind of security guarantees from the US president in the event that a peace deal is struck with Russia. The concern in Ukraine is that without those guarantees, a ceasefire could be treated by the Russian President Vladimir Putin as nothing more than a pause, that he could simply regroup and attack Ukraine again in the future. So Volodymyr Zelensky in this meeting in the Oval Office pressed that point. He urged Donald Trump against trusting Vladimir Putin. Mr. Trump, we know, since returning to the White House, has really upended the US position on this conflict. He has resumed communications with Vladimir Putin, and he has insisted that the Russian leader, he thinks, would stick to a peace deal. But Mr. Zelensky argued in this meeting that Mr. Putin had a long history of going back on his word, and it was around that time that what had started out as a fairly cordial conversation became very tense. The US Vice President J.D. Vance interjected. He accused Mr. Zelensky of being disrespectful and of being ungrateful for the support that the US has provided Ukraine with so far. Mr. Zelensky at times was defensive. Mr. Trump then got involved, and this quickly descended into what effectively was a shouting match between the two leaders. Mr. Zelensky and Mr. Trump had been due to have lunch here at the White House and then hold a joint press conference where they were expected to sign the minerals agreement, but the Ukrainian leader abruptly left. Those events were cancelled, and Mr. Trump posted to social media saying that Mr. Zelensky had disrespected the United States of America in its cherished Oval Office. He can come back when he is ready for peace.
Cyclone Alfred has triggered warnings of damaging winds and large swells spanning almost 800 kilometers of the Queensland coastline.
There is a little bit of rain about, but it is relatively calm here this morning. But that is likely to change as the day progresses, as Tropical Cyclone Alfred continues to track south. It's currently about 600 kilometres off the coast of Rockhampton, and we have been told by the Bureau that we can expect that those damaging winds and hazardous surf conditions right across that Queensland coastline. So it's such a significant area, and for places here like Woodgate, we're not expected to see high tides until 10:30, but you can see behind me that there's not much beach left at the moment, so it is going to be potentially seeing some significant erosion here along the coast. But the Bureau, as I said, is saying that those warnings are going to be in place for much of the weekend.
We are expecting it to move slightly closer towards the Queensland coast. So the winds along large parts of the Queensland coast are expected to become quite gusty, and there is the potential for a severe weather warning to be issued later this afternoon for Gari, or formerly known as Fraser Island, for damaging wind gusts up to 90 kilometres per hour. But our main concern this weekend is actually a significant increase in coastal hazards. So both dangerous surf, which is combining with abnormally high tides, that could lead to significant coastal erosion and also even inundation of low-lying areas.
So the SES, the State Emergency Service, has been filling sandbags in preparation for the potential of flash flooding in low-lying coastal areas. The Queensland Parks and Wildlife Service has also issued warnings to people on Gari, formerly known as Fraser Island, to evacuate while they still can before the weather system tracks further south. And they're also telling campers at Inskip Point near Rainbow Beach that they shouldn't be staying there because of those strong winds and damaging surf warnings. And the other message is, of course, to boaties and beachgoers to stay out of the water and don't put yourself in any significant danger as Tropical Cyclone Alfred continues to track south.
Violent clashes have erupted between protesters and riot police outside Greece's parliament in Athens. Around 300,000 people gathered to demand justice for the victims of the country's deadliest train crash in 2023.
These were the biggest demonstrations that Greece has seen in years. Around 300,000 people took to the streets of the capital city, Athens, and there were other protests in cities around the country too. There have also been major strikes which have grounded flights and halted sea and rail transport. The Athens rally outside the parliament started peacefully but turned angry around lunchtime local time on Friday. Protesters were hurling projectiles and petrol bombs while riot police were firing tear gas and water cannon. Some people were also trying to storm the barricades in front of the parliament. So what brought so many people out to protest? Well, the demonstrations marked the second anniversary of Greece's worst ever rail disaster. 57 people were killed when a passenger train filled with students collided with a freight train near the Tempe Gorge in central Greece 2 years ago. This week, an inquiry revealed the safety issues that caused the crash have not yet been addressed. A separate judicial investigation remains unfinished and no one's been convicted, so people are angry. Let's take a listen to some of those who were at the protest in central Athens.
We feel anger. It's anger that prevails right now for the fact that 57 souls lost their lives unfairly, for the profits of the few. That's why we are here today.
We want to send the message to the government and the employers that we will not tolerate any more going to work and not knowing if we are going to get back home alive.
The centre-right government, which was re-elected in 2023 after the crash, has faced repeated criticism by relatives and victims for its handling of the crash, particularly for failing to launch a parliamentary inquiry into political responsibility. The government says it's up to the judiciary to investigate, but adds that it's already working to make Greece's railway network safe.
The Vatican says Pope Francis' condition has suddenly worsened after he experienced an isolated breathing crisis.
Well, after days of improvement, there's been a setback in Pope Francis's medical treatment. According to its latest medical update, the Vatican said that he's experienced an isolated breathing crisis which caused him to vomit. He's receiving oxygen to help him breathe. However, he's said to be in high spirits despite what's been described as a sudden worsening of his condition. In these daily medical updates, we were hearing that his condition was either stable or improving since he experienced an earlier breathing crisis almost a week ago. The 88-year-old pontiff was first admitted to Rome's Gemelli Hospital 2 weeks ago now with bronchitis. He's now known to be battling pneumonia in both of his lungs. It's his longest hospital stay in his 12-year papacy, and we're yet to see any photos or vision of the Pope since he was admitted to hospital. We've also heard that he will no longer be leading the Ash Wednesday service next week to mark the beginning of Lent in the Christian calendar. There had been some discussion over the possibility that he may participate in weekly prayers this Sunday. He was absent from those prayers last week and the week before. However, this potential setback in his condition has now put that further into question.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You me holy man, no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Are you seeking fulfillment for your life? Do you want freedom from fear? That's why we're here. Welcome to Jesus 101, introducing you to the real Jesus. And now, here's your host, Elizabeth Talbot.
Jesus 101, Saturday at 7 a.m. and Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
Family green business, Lomino. Okay, boss, Lomi, kay Lomi.
From Hatok Mom, health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, MTV.
Tukai Sports.
Welcome to Tukai Sports. The Port Moresby Men's Softball Association is eyeing finals for the corporate competition next weekend.
In an interview today, Port Moresby Men's Softball Association Vice President Sinai Koavea gave a brief on the competition.
This is the corporate slow pitch that the men's team, PNG Port Moresby Men's Association is hosting. This is our second week of the games, which is the normal rounds, and then the third week will be next week, which will go into our finals. So this is the final weekend of the rounds. We have around 14 teams taking part in this competition. We have US Embassy, likes to DDCL, we have NCSL, NESFAN, all these teams taking part. So we have a wide range of corporate companies taking part in this competition.
He said preparations are underway for the finals and also acknowledged the teams.
For the grand final, the current team, informed team will be the PNG Power team. So there will be Newmont, who are the last year's winners, will be picking up a strong fight as well. So PNG Power and Newmont will be the most likely team to win. But then, with that said, we have other good teams like NESFAN, even Alpha Insurance. So it will be all decided by tomorrow who is going to go into the finals. And those two teams that I mentioned earlier on they'll be participating in the finals. We would like to thank all the 14 corporate companies to take part in these corporate sevens. This, for the Men's Association, is our way of raising funds for the proposition for the competition. This is one of our means where we earn our financial gains from. So we really like to say thank you to each and every corporate companies for coming and putting a team, and we look forward for them to putting in more teams next season.
Jonathan Sibona, Tukai Sports.
The Public Servants Netball Association has ended its competition with the grand finals today on a high note.
Competition President Mary Nauga said this is the 35th anniversary for the competition.
Today is our grand final, and there's about 7-8 divisions in the competition. The Premier Division is the top division, and that's Bank of PNG and IRC. That's a competition, that's a game to watch for today. I'm always going to be promoting the 35th anniversary for the association. We've been existing since 1989. We will be celebrating the anniversary next week on the 8th of March at APEC House. And we've been inviting all the teams and their sponsors to come and have a sit down, relax and enjoy and receive their awards. So today it's just the medal presentations today, but the actual awards will be next week.
She also gave a highlight of the season.
This season has been a really good season for us. We've had a few teams that came on board, teams like ICAC. We've had partnerships with Department of Health, Department of Justice and Attorney General. They came on board to do awareness for the services that they provide. So things like awareness on breast cancer, World AIDS Day. We did a lot of that over the season.
She also acknowledged the people behind the competition.
I'd like to acknowledge our executives and the umpires, because without them, the competition wouldn't be running, and our sponsors, Lamana, Digicel, and Theodist, and venue management, because they've been giving us a really good rate for the use of these venues. So thank you so much, and to PNG Sports Foundation CEO, Micah James.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
The Department of Justice and Attorney General netball team has lost by 1 point in the Public Servants Netball Association, but are hopeful to make a strong comeback next season.
Speaking to Trukai Sports today, DJ Captain gave a brief on the gameplay.
Hi, I'm Genevieve Kuman, and I am the captain for the Department of Justice and Attorney General, Team 1. We play in Division 4 as part of the Public Servants Netball Association. Today we played a grand final game against NJS's Team 2. That's a sister team from within the justice sector itself. Unfortunately, we didn't come up with the win, lost to them by 1 point.
She further elaborated on the second half of the match.
So in the first half, we led by 4 points. We were doing quite well. We were playing our game, the game that's brought us this far. Unfortunately, fatigue, I would say, got the better of us, and the errors increased, and that's what basically cost us the game today.
Ms. Kuman also acknowledged the people behind the team's success.
I'm very proud of my team, very proud of all the effort and time that they've put into getting us this far. So as captain, I'm very proud of our team. Yeah. I'd like to acknowledge our department. They've been very, very supportive. They've assisted with logistics, preparations, throughout the season, and especially going towards the preliminary finals and finals. They've helped to facilitate a lot for us, and we're very grateful to our department.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Come on, let's go. Here we go.
Accept the challenge. Choose PNG's favorite purified bottled water. True Wara, 100% PNG made.
Proudly bottled by Paradise Foods.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You may holy man no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
Join me every Thursday night as Sports Scene brings to you all the local and international sporting updates. Revisiting our legendary athletes,
Hi, this is David Mead.
highlighting our local sports developments across the nation,
All eyes on Buffalo. Now an NRL team based here.
Create a pathway.
and our talented rising stars.
Hi, my name's Gemma Schnobel and you're watching
All the younger ones should follow.
Sports Scene, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
You are watching Trukai Sports. Now moving to overseas sports. Australia is through to the semi-finals of cricket's Champions Trophy, despite their match against Afghanistan being rained out in Lahore.
Batting first, Afghanistan made 273 runs, but in the 13th over of the run chase, rain stopped play with Australia on 1 for 109. Travis Head was on 59 not out. Stand-in captain Steve Smith spoke after the match.
You know, that's what we're after at the start of the tournament. So, yeah, to have finished in the top two and heading to the semis, satisfying so far. Just tried to take wickets throughout the middle and, I thought the guys did a really good job to restrict them to 270 and then thought we were in a pretty good position when the game got called off as well.
Tyler Harvey and Trey Kell have guided the Illawarra Hawks to an NBL Game 1 playoff win over the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, 101 to 94 points.
A strong first half put the Phoenix in a good position before Illawarra scored 32 points in the third quarter. The Hawks are now one win away from a first Championship Series appearance since 2017.
In AFL, the Blues made light work of the GWS Giants, dominating their preseason eat-out with a 124-66 victory at Manuka Oval in Canberra.
Meanwhile, last year's grand finalists, the Sydney Swans, have defeated the Gold Coast Suns in their pre-season clash, 12-12-84 to 8-15-63. Swans forward Tom McCartan booted 4 goals.
That ends Trukai Sport. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sport. Trukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Attention all students, parents and schools. The Smart Start School promotion is back for 2025. Your school could win a school grant worth 44,000 kina. Here's how. Collect 3 empty packets of Smart Start breakfast biscuits, write your name, number and school on an envelope, put the empty packets inside and drop them into an entry box at a registered school. The school with the highest number of valid entries in each region wins. 1,000 consolation prizes are also up for grabs. Register your school now with Paradise Foods Limited. Smart Start breakfast biscuit, proudly made by Paradise Foods.
Ransomware attack is a type of cyber attack that deals with cyber criminals offering a company or a government agency or a government department's files. Cyberbullying is a that issue is not only faced in developing countries, that's also faced in the developed world as well. So the question about technically can we go after those people who are behind fake identities?
That's on Monday night.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Morning Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Now chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus we're ready to go.
Mipla Halivim Wari Belong You.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
The weather report for the next 24 hours. In southern region, Port Moresby City partly cloudy with chances of some showers. Daru partly cloudy with few showers. Kerema mostly cloudy with brief rain showers. Alotau cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And Popondetta cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. In the Momase region, Lae City partly cloudy with few showers. Medeng partly cloudy with few showers. Wewak cloudy periods with few showers. And Vanimo cloudy periods with few showers. In the New Guinea Island region, Lorengau cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorm. Kavieng cloudy period with few showers. Kokopon Rabaul cloudy periods with some rain showers at times. Kimbe cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Buka cloudy periods with showers and possible thunderstorm. In the islands region, Mount Again City partly cloudy with brief evening showers. Goroka Bands and Kundiawa partly cloudy with brief evening showers. Mendi Tarian Wabeg partly cloudy with brief evening showers.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Saturday, the 1st of March 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.